Hi everyone, and welcome to my live creative time today. My name's Mandy Witherby from Mandy's Papercraft Creations, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Sydney, Australia. Welcome everyone. It is great to be here. I'm just looking to see if I've got my camera in the right spot. I think we're all good. It's great to be here. I have got such a beautiful, bright, fun, sunny card for you today, which is very cheerful, and yeah, I hope that you'll enjoy it. But before we jump in, I'll just bring this live up on my other devices so that I can see all of your lovely comments there. So as you're jumping on, say hi. Let me know that you're here, and if this is your first time watching, then let me know where you're watching from. All right, I'll just bring this up on my laptop as well. Mute that, and are we up there? There we go. Great. Okay, good. Everything is on, everything is running. I can see comments when they pop up. So we are ready to go. So let me know that you're here. Say hi, chat with me as we're crafting. I always love to have a chat with you. Feel free to bring along your cuppa. I've got my cuppa in my Stampin' Up! Mug today. I've got, what did I get today? I've made Earl Grey, French Earl Grey today. So it's my favorite. This one is a tea bag though. It's not loose leaf today. So I'm mixing it up a little bit. I like to have choices. So yes, so all ready to go. Hey Brenton, how are you? Great to have you with us. Yes, I know you love French Earl Grey as well, don't you? Yes, we share a favorite there. How was your weekend, Brenton? Did you do anything special, or did you have to work on the weekend? Let me know. So here in Australia, we celebrated Father's Day yesterday, Sunday the, what was yesterday? The 3rd, that's right, the 3rd. We celebrated yesterday, and the day before that, on the 2nd, it was my daughter's birthday, or our daughter's birthday, as well as our wedding anniversary. So yeah, so we had a lovely weekend. We had brunch out on Saturday for my daughter's birthday and our anniversary. Unfortunately, my son came down sick, so he wasn't able to join us. He has basically been in isolation all weekend. It's all right, it's not the spicy flu. Well, we don't think so anyway. The test came back negative. And he's feeling a lot better today, so I think it's just a virus. But yeah, he's doing okay. So he couldn't join us, and our other daughter lives interstate now, so she couldn't join us. So it was just the 3 of us. So we had a lovely brunch out, and yeah, and then in the evening we had cake and presents, and our daughter zoomed in from Queensland, our other daughter. So that was good to have her with us for that. But yeah, just a quiet afternoon. And then yesterday for Father's Day, we didn't do anything super special. My hubby just wanted to potter around. He loves gardening, so he wanted to spend the day in the garden. So he did that and mowed the lawns, washed the car, did a little bit of some gardening things that he wanted to get done. And yeah, and then just presents in the evening, and yeah, just a really cruisy day. Nothing super spectacular. So, oh, Brenton said, had a great Father's Day. Oh, you saw your 3 sons. Oh, fantastic. And you worked as well. Ah, well, happy Father's Day for yesterday, Brenton. That's really awesome. But yeah, shame that you had to work too. Maswari's here. Hi, how are you? Great to have you with us. And she said, oh, sorry to hear that, yeah, our son is sick. That's okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, he's feeling a lot better today. So I think he's recovering. I think it was just one of those, you know, short viruses, a bit of a sore throat and a bit of a cough, but nothing serious, which is good. So, so when he comes out of his room, he has to put his mask on so he doesn't make the rest of us sick. And he's got his own designated bathroom at the moment. So, yeah, so we're keeping him at arm's length and then some. We've been getting his food and everything for him as well. I'm taking that to him so that yeah, he's not, you know, out in the house too much, just to keep the rest of us well, because we don't want to get sick. So yeah. Oh, hey Julie, how are you? Great to have you here. Hey Rose, how are you? Great to have you here. So today, so that's what happened over the weekend. Today I have got a beautiful project for you. As I said, a really sunny, bright project, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a moment. But before we jump into that, let me give you a little bit of news of things that are coming up. Now today, well actually let me jump forward to Wednesday. Wednesday we have got our brand new mini catalog launching, our September to December 2023 mini catalog. It's launching on Wednesday. So if you're a customer, you'll be able to purchase everything out of this catalog on Wednesday, the 6th of September. So that's really exciting. As demonstrators, we've been able to purchase these products for about the last month. So I have already been showing some of those. We're not playing with any of those new ones today, however. We are playing with products from the annual catalogue. But in the coming weeks and months, I will be playing with the new product from there. And I did show one last week. And I'm sorry that I missed my live last week. I put my back out again and my neck was playing up as well all week. So I couldn't go live, but I had a beautiful project to share with you. So I hope you enjoyed the photos, and I hope you checked out my blog for that one as well, because the full instructional step-by-step instructions were there for you on the blog, on my blog. So hopefully you you were able to see that. If not, then feel free to jump over to my blog after my live today. It's Mandy's Papercraft Creations.blogspot.com, and you'll find my project there. You'll also find my project from today over there as well after my live, so be sure to check that out. But because we've got the new mini catalog coming, I have got my paper share. So, the new papers out of the new catalog, I've got them on available at the moment on a mini paper share, mini catalog paper share. The current share I've got one spot left. So if you would like to get in on the paper share, I've got one spot left, but you need to register today and pay by tomorrow, so that then on the 6th, when the catalog goes live, I can order all of those papers for you all, and then that I get them sent to me, and then I cut them, prep them, package them, and then mail them out to you. So hopefully, if all being well, depending on the shipping from Stampin' Up, it takes about 2 to 3 weeks for that whole process. So you'll have them in the next couple of weeks. Now there are 2 options for the paper share. So there's the standard designer series papers from the mini catalog, and there's 8 different packs that are included in my share. But there's also a specialty paper share as well, with the 5 specialty papers that are also in the mini catalog. Now I can't show you the inside of the catalog until Wednesday when it goes live. So I can't show you the images of those, but I did show some of the papers on my unboxing, and I showed, I've put up some posts and things about them as well, of some of them. I don't have all of them yet, I only have a few. But anyway, there's the 2 options there, or you can get them all. If you're local to me, you're welcome to pick them up from me for free, or if you need shipping, then there's an extra, if you need postage, there's an extra postage fee as well. But all of the information is in my, there's a registration, so I'll pop that up in the comments for you now. And then those details will also be in the description of this video. I'll add them to it after I finish filming. So let me just grab the link for the paper share, and I'll pop that in the comments. There you go. So that's there for you. And also too, if you don't have a mini catalogue and you would like one, if you don't already have a demonstrator, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to send one out to you. So I'll put the registration or the request form for that in the description as well. I'm just grabbing that right now over here on my computer. If you see me looking to the side, that's why I'm looking over there. So that is there for you as well if you would like to request a mini catalogue. We also have the annual catalogue as well. So if you don't already have an annual catalogue, then you can request one of those from me as well. And I have a separate link for that. All of the links will be put in the description of this video, both here on Facebook and over on YouTube, because I will upload it over there as well. So that's the first thing. So the paper shares. So the papers are gorgeous. They're so simply stunning. So you'll love to get your hands on those. Now, not only that, but also on Wednesday, the 6th of September, there's a few things that are happening. Another thing that is happening is there is going to be a special release of some designer series paper separately to the mini catalogue. So these extra ones are going to be going into the online exclusives. I'm not running a paper share on those because they are for a limited time only. Whereas the mini catalogue ones, they'll be available till the catalogue ends in December. But the specialty ones, there's a little flyer here to give you a little sneak peek of some of those papers that are coming. They are simply gorgeous. They're going to be in the online exclusives, so be sure to check them out on the 6th of September. There's some Christmas papers, there's some floral papers, some that match with some of the brand new products that are coming out in this catalogue, that coordinate with some of the dies and some of the stamp sets as well. So be sure to check them out on the 6th. So go to my online store on the 6th and click on those online exclusives. So there'll be the online exclusives, there'll be the mini catalogue, so many choices, and very, very exciting. Now, I've also got my September tutorial bundle. This is actually, it's not mine, it's the Crafty Collaborations September tutorial bundle. I collaborate with a whole heap of demonstrators from around the world on this tutorial bundle every month, and this is the largest one we've had, and this has 55 individual tutorials for different projects, 55 different projects, including mine is in there as well. So you can get that from me for free with an order in my online store of over $75 during the month of September, or you can purchase it outright for $28. So if you are a demonstrator or you're a customer but you have your own demonstrator, or if you're overseas, you can purchase that from me for $28. So you can just flick me a message, send me an email at mandyspapercraftcreations@gmail.com. Contact me either of those ways, and I can get that sent out to you. Now, if you're not already subscribed to my newsletter, I do always have this linked on my newsletter as well for you to contact me for that if you want to purchase it. So if you're not yet subscribed to my newsletter, be sure to subscribe to my newsletter as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop all of my links in the comments right now under my link tree, and then that way you can navigate to wherever you would like to go, whatever you would like to look at, register for, check out, etc. I've popped that just there in the links, and that'll be in the description as well. So lots happening, very exciting. And yeah, this new catalogue is just gorgeous. So you're going to want to definitely take a look at that on Wednesday, the 6th. All right. Now, I'm going to flip the camera down, and let me just scroll back up and make sure I haven't missed anything. Oh, Julie says, totally off topic. I like your earrings, Mandy. Oh, thank you so much. Yes, I had these specially made for me by request by one of my team members, actually. Fee made these for me, Julie. And I've got them in 3 different colors. I've got pale pink, which are slightly bigger, and I've got blue as well, blue multicolored with beads. And yeah, they're crocheted. They're really, really, I love them. They're really pretty. I'm into dangly earrings at the moment. It's my latest thing. And brooches. But I'm not wearing a brooch today because I thought, well, we're in spring now. Thank goodness, because I really, really don't like the winter. So I thought I would wear a floral shirt, and we're making a floral card. We're looking at floral projects this week. Well, we might chuck in some mini catalogs. I don't know. This week might be a bit of a mismatch. Not mismatch. What do you call it? Mash up. Yeah, a mash up. But today is florals. And actually, I'll show you when I tip the camera down. You may have seen me post that it was my daughter's birthday. Well, I didn't post on my public page. I don't think, did I? I can't remember. I posted on my personal page that it was my daughter's birthday, and I mentioned it before. So I used the paper florist dies to make her card, and I also made a whole heap of extra flowers to decorate her presents. I will be putting up photos of those later in the week because they're not part of the project today, but I'll give you a little sneaky peek today. But I'll tip the camera down to the desk first to show. Well, actually, no, I'll show you that now, and then we'll jump into our project for today. All right, let me grab it. So this is not what we're making today, but I'm just giving you a little sneaky peek. I will highlight it later in the week, but this was the card that I made for my daughter. It's a shabby chic card. It's my own design. I pulled a few ideas from cards we've made in the past, and that sort of thing, but it is a new design that I created. And these flowers, I made all of those. We're using the paper florist dies. So, and I've got a little bit of, I don't know if you can see it, I used some of the decorative masks in the background with the textured paste, embossing paste. And then we've got some of the annual catalogue DSP, the Countryside Inn DSP, and this wood paper. This is from the new one from the new mini catalogue, the All About Autumn. Getting all the names in my head still. All About Autumn designer series paper. That's from that one. Yeah, but I made all of these. So aren't they just gorgeous? And the butterfly comes from the same die set as the tag, which is the decorative tags dies, I think, from the annual catalogue. I think that's what it's called. I will detail all of this in a post later in the week, and I will probably end up doing a blog on it as well, so I can highlight all of the details there. As well. Thank you, Brenton. Brenton said absolutely gorgeous. Thank you. The other thing I did was I made a whole heap of extra ones. Oh, there's a broken leaf there. That one didn't make it. One of the leaves didn't make it. But we salvaged. So I made a whole heap. I spent hours and hours last Sunday night. So not last night, last Sunday night. Sitting making flowers while I was watching Gilmore Girls, so it was great. Sat here for hours till the early hours of the morning. I actually went to bed not long before my husband got up for work. And just made a whole heap more of the flowers as well. And there were other ones that I punched out that I didn't use. I didn't actually make them into flowers. But yeah, I made a whole stack more, and then we've salvaged them and put them on to because they've got glue dots on the back. So we salvaged them, put them on these ones were on her presents. I've used these to decorate her presents. Salvaged them, put them onto a window sheet so that we can reuse them in some other projects. But yeah, I die cut each of the petals, spritzed them, scrunched them, dried them, inked them. The ones on her cards are all inked, but the ones, I didn't ink all of the other spare ones. So yeah, so I've got lots to go on with now for other projects, but they did take, because there were so many steps to these ones that I made, they did take quite a while. They look like the bought ones. So I was very happy with how they turned out. And then for her cake, I used, now this is one that we die cut a while ago. Hang on, I'll put it on the back there so you can see it. But this is one of the dies that's just a standalone die. I don't know if it's current in the current catalogue or if it's an old one, but we just die cut a couple of those out of gold foil cardstock and stuck it onto a skewer, and I had that on her cake that I decorated. And I decorated just a gluten-free chocolate mud cake, which I had bought, and then I decorated it with a whole heap of chocolate biscuits, caramel popcorn, caramel chocolate, dairy milk chocolate, Maltesers. What else did I have on there? Gluten-free type Tim Tams. They're not called Tim Tams, but they're like a Tim Tam, but they're gluten-free. And oh, and crunchy. Yeah, crushed up crunchy. It looked amazing, and this went so well with it. So that's just another way of using your dies. I'll probably highlight that later in the week too. Another way of using your dies, yeah, for cake toppers. So there you go. So that was a lot of fun. Oh, thank you, Julie. Julie says, very pretty card. Hey, Jenny, how are you? My back is much better this week. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, it's always touchy, but last week it went out on me big time, and I thought, oh no, here we go again. But thankfully, with a day of rest, which was last Monday, and then just some natural treatments and some physio and stuff, it came good. And my neck is a lot better too, thankfully, because it gave me a hard time last week as well. So if it's not one thing, it's something else. And my hips as well. I have arthritis in my hips as well. I know, I'm too young to have all these problems. But yeah, I've had problems with my hips since I was born, actually. So I knew the hips would be a problem when I got older. But they're just starting to, yeah, play up again lately. So, but that's okay. I'm feeling a lot better today. So all is good. All right. So, yeah, so that's my project. I'll give you another one more quick sneak peek. There you go. So that was Amber's birthday card using the paper floristry dies. And I think I'll have to do a Facebook Live showing you how to create those flowers, because there's two different types of flowers there. With the different types of dies that are in that set, but I was really happy with how they turned out. And they've turned out really stiff, because when you wet the cardstock, scrunch it and then dry it, it really stiffens up the cardstock, and so that the flowers are actually very firm. So, which is good. They're not going to fall apart. Alrighty. Okay, so I'll pop that over there too. All right, well, we'll get started now, because I've been chatting for quite a while. So I'm going to cover up the camera, tip it down onto the desktop, and I'll show you what we're going to be creating today. Unfortunately, we're not creating Amber's card again. That was a one-off. That was a special, what do you call it? Limited edition project. Yes, it took many hours to make that one. All right, so, but we are doing a fun little project today. So I'll tell you all about that in a moment. Here we go. So I'll cover up the camera, do a little flippity flip here, and I'll get this all set up for you. Oops, tighten that one up nice and tight so it doesn't fall. I am, however, going to have to very soon purchase a new holder for a new clamp for my iPad, because my iPad keeps falling down all the time. I've been doctoring it to get it to last a bit longer, but it's kind of almost on its last legs. It just doesn't want to stay put much at all anymore. Just get this camera right. And, oh, that's crooked still. Let's tweak this a little bit till I get that right, so it's a bit straighter. That looks a little bit better. Okay, so I'll move that keyboard now. I've lost visual over on my computer again, but that's okay. I can see on my iPad. I can still see comments over there though. Alrighty, so we are in a new month, of course. So a new month always calls for a new host code. So, and I know that a lot of you will be shopping this month when the new catalog releases. So make sure that you use my September host code when you're shopping in my online store. This is it here. And with orders over $75, you will receive that tutorial that I just showed you for free. This one here. This one has 55. This is the biggest one that we've had in the Crafty Collaborations. It's got 55 different projects, and I'm just finding where I only just got the image today from the coordinator, and I'm just trying to find where is my project in here. I can't see it at quick glance. Oh, there it is, up there. There's my one up there. 3rd. Yeah, so there you go. So lots and lots of beautiful projects in that one. All right, so I'm part of a few different collaborations. I'm still not happy with how this camera is looking. Hang on one sec. It's kind of at a weird angle. I think is that better? I think that's better now. Yes, so I collaborate with a few different demonstrators on different things. And one of them is I'm part of we've got a new design team who are all Australian demonstrators, and we blog together each month. We just started last month, and it was by, it's just a small number of Australian demonstrators who were all invited to be part of this design team. And so we blog together each month, and each month one of us chooses the theme for the blog. And this month we had Maswari, who was on here a moment ago. I'm not sure if she's still with us. But she was designing this month's, and this month's was a picture inspiration blog. So I printed out the picture to show you today. This was the picture that she gave us. So we were to use this as our inspiration for our blog project today, this month. And it went live this morning. So that's the project that we're going to be making today. So we could just take any parts of this image and use that as inspiration for our project. So I loved the bright colors, and of course, you know, I love florals. I loved the layout with the little frames that looked like little photos on there. And of course, you know, I love distressing. So the splatter, the tearing, I loved all of that. So yeah, so I incorporated all of those things into my project. And this is the project that I created. So this is my card here. So instead of having the little framed photos, I turned those into little mini Polaroids. Aren't they just so cute? They're so adorable. They're really, really tiny. Look how little they are next to my hand. So they're really little tiny mini Polaroids. And I used the Petal Park stamp set to create the flowers and the layering leaves for the leaves with the leaves punch, and I created these myself. I've got the splatter in there, I've got the tearing in there. So yeah, so let me show you side by side, and this is what I'm going to show you how to make today. So there's the image. So you can kind of see I've gone with a similar sort of design to the image that Maswari gave us, which I love. I love this. When I first saw it, I thought, oh, yellows. It's bright and beautiful and sunny, but I don't use a lot of like bright yellows. So it was a little bit challenging at first. I was like, oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. And I've got a little bit of sparkle in the center with the wink of Stella of each of the flowers as well. So not sure if that's really coming up on camera. But yeah, and some gold ribbon, gold, the brass butterflies as well. So there we go. So that's what we're going to be making today. Now, all of these products are in the annual catalogue. So we're not using any of the new mini catalogue products today. We're using all annual catalogue. So I'll show you those as we go along. So I'm going to pop my card over there out of the way. And I'll quickly show you the products that we're using first. So we've got the Petal Park stamp set. Now it has a punch that coordinates with it. They're not available as a bundle. They are individual products. Sorry, I know that it's really hard to see the shapes on the punch in the lights. There we go. So they do coordinate together. You've got the single leaf there, which is these ones here. And then you've got the 3 flowers. So for my project today, I'm just using the flowers. I didn't use the leaves because I wanted stems of leaves. And these ones here that are part of the stamp set, these ones don't have a die that coordinate with them. And I didn't want to fussy cut them. So I then brought in the new Layering Leaves stamp set, which was designed by Rachel Tessman in the US. This was her Million Sales Achiever stamp set, and it coordinates with the bow punch. So the bow punch has been around for a little while. It carried over from a previous catalogue, but Rachel designed the stamp set to match the punch. And also she did say that she didn't want the punch to go away. So that's another reason why she designed the stamp set to coordinate with it. And there's beautiful sentiments and fonts in this one as well. So that's what I've used for the leaves. And then I've used the Stylish Shapes dies for the cutout for the Polaroids. Okay, so they're the products that we're using, all out of the annual catalogue. So you can find them in the annual catalogue. They're all individual products. They're not bundled or anything like that. So you can find them in there. There will be, all the details are on my blog with the full supply list as well. So you can get that over there. So don't worry too much about measurements and things like that today because they'll all be over there. All right, so let's bring in our cardstock. So we are using, now let's see if I've got everything here. We are using Crushed Curry, Daffodil Delight, Crumb Cake, Mossy Meadow, and white, basic white. So they are our, that's our color palette. Okay. We've also got some Stampin' blends and some ink. We're going to be using Memento Tuxedo Black. We're using Whisper White, Daffodil Delight, Crushed Curry, Crumb Cake, and Mossy Meadow. So they're all to match the colours in the cardstock. And then for blends, I've actually got Lemon Lolly in the light and the dark, so it's a little bit lighter. And then I've got the dark soft sea foam just for the center of the flowers. And we've got a couple of blending brushes as well. And then we've got the ribbon and the butterflies. So the ribbon, I'll show you that when we get to it. All right, now I won't go through all of the measurements today because that'll take up too much time. I'm just going to show you how to create all of these. I'll show you how to create all of the layers and put the card together. The measurements are all going to be over on my blog, so you'll be able to grab them from there. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll start off with the flowers first because they're going to take the most time. So we'll start off with those and all of these other pieces I'm going to pop to the side, and I'll show you how to put all of those layers together in a little bit. All right, now because we are using photopolymer, I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Pierce mat to stamp my flowers on. Now for the flowers, we have the punch, and when you stamp the flowers, I've got my little template that I made in here. which one of my lovely team members reminded me about because I had totally forgotten about it. So when you punch the flowers, they're going to punch out in that orientation. So when you go to stamp your flowers, if you stamp them in that orientation that they're going to fit into the punch, it'll make your life so much easier. Ask me how I know. Because that's not what I did the first time. And I was like, oh, I forgot about my little template. And I've also made a template for the bow punch. I did that last night too because I didn't have one. And because it stamps the two different sized leaves, or the leaves and the little sprig of flowers, I created a little template for that. So I'll show you that later too. All right. So to begin with, we are going to stamp... So we're going to stamp the outline of the stamps, and we're going to stamp so this is a 2-step stamp set. So we've got the outline, and then we've got the color fill as well, and the same with the leaves and the little flowers as well. So they're all 2-step stamps. Some of the flowers we're using today, we're going to color with the Stampin' Blends, and some of them we're going to do with 2-step. Okay, so I've got to remember how many I need. I think I just need 1 set that are done with the markers. Yes, okay. Yes, I remember now. It's all good. I made this very late last night. Very, very late. Well, actually, early hours of this morning. So it was a busy weekend. What can I say? I didn't have time. All right. So when we're stamping with, let me move over this way a little bit. When we're stamping with, oh, hey, Vicky, how you going? Great to have you with us. When we're stamping with Memento, especially onto photopolymer, I like to rub first and then tap, tap, tap. I find that it helps the ink. By doing that rubbing first, it helps the ink to adhere to the photopolymer, because the photopolymer can repel the ink a little bit. And whenever you get a new photopolymer stamp set, now remember to check the orientation of your punch. Okay, so that's how we're going to stamp it that way. Yes, whenever you get a brand new photopolymer stamp set, it is really important to clean it before you use it, because it does come with a little bit of manufacturing oil sitting on the surface, and it will repel the ink. So you have to give them a good clean first on either your Simply Chamois or your what's the other one called? Stampin' Scrub, before you use it. Okay, so that's 2. We'll do the other 2 as well. 2 sets on each piece. As I said, all of the measurements will be over on my blog, so don't worry too much about measurements today. Rub, 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 tap, tap, tap. There we go. And the good thing with taking the ink pad to the stamp is when you've got the stamp face up like that, you can see if you've got a good coating of ink on there. All right, so we'll give that a little clean. Okay. All right. So we'll pop that one aside. Now we're going to use the Daffodil Delight. Make sure I get the right one. Daffodil Delight ink. I'll pop that one to the side. And now we're going to use the color fill for those flowers. And we're going to do one in first generation. So that is nice and dark. Then we're going to do one in second generation, so it's a little bit lighter. Okay, so we've got a dark set and a light set. And then we need, so we've got 1, 2, 3, we need 2 light sets. Okay, so I'm going to get a scrap of paper. I'm going to ink this up again. I'm going to quickly I was off the paper. Hang on a sec. Let me do that again. Re-ink. Quickly stamp off onto the scrap and then line that up with my flowers. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, tap off the excess and clean it. And the last set, we're going to use our Stampin' blends to colour. Now, if you didn't want to use Stampin' blends, you could colour them with, you could colour all of them using the colour fill, but I wanted one set of the flowers that had a bit more white space. So see this one, and this one, they've got a little bit more white around them. So they weren't all filled with colour, just bringing in that white into the design. Okay, let's just close that one up. So we'll take our blends. Now I tossed up which, I think it was the dark one I ended up liking. I did, when I did my original ones, I made a whole heap and I did some with the light. So this is Lemon Lolly. And I did some with the light and some with the dark. Look, I've got a whole heap in here that I had already prepared earlier. I just made a whole heap last night because I wasn't sure what I was going to do with them when I was designing my card. So I did some light and some dark. There's a difference on my very dry hands. But I think I liked the darker one a bit better than the lighter one. So yeah, it gives a little bit more color. So I think we'll go with that. And I've got all of these to create another project down the track. So keep all of those in a little clear envelope. So these clear envelopes are great. You can find them in the annual catalogue or in my online store. And they're great for putting your projects into to mail them as well, and then pop them into a normal envelope. Protects them from the weather. I send all of mine in those, and it has saved many a project that have been caught in the rain. And I've actually had a few sent to me that weren't in those envelopes, and they got ruined, which was really sad. All right, so I'm going to just use the brush tip and just going over that stamped detail in the flower, but leaving some white space. Okay, so just turn that around so that I'm drawing the color towards the center. Now you can use the brush tip or the bullet tip. The other end is the bullet tip, which I like to use for finer details, such as on this one, because that's only got a little bit of detail there. And then we can do the same with this one. Okay, so there we've just got a little bit of color. We can add a little bit, just add a little bit more there. There we go. All right, and then we're going to use our dark soft sea foam for the centers. And in fact, we're going to use that on all of the flowers. I'm going to give all of them the green center, even the stamped ones. Might need to give them a couple of coats because it is a very light color. But if you use any of the darker greens, then you're going quite deep in color. There we go. Okay, so that's all of our flowers colored. So now we need to punch those. So we'll take the Petal Park Builder Punch, and I'm going to start from the left-hand side, and we'll line those up. And because I had my template and I knew how to position them, they shouldn't be too hard to line up in my punch. Getting my finger in the way there. Whoa, there we go. And we've got the 3 that punch out together. You will get the little offcut from the leaf, but we're not using that today. So we can get rid of that one. Okay, so line them all up. punch. There we go. So if you wanted to, you could trim off that little bit of extra there and use that for sentiments for another project. So you're not wasting any cardstock. I'll actually do that. I'll save that. The reason that I have in the measurements, when you see the measurements on my blog, that extra bit of cardstock is that it helps to just have that little bit of extra, just so you've got a bit more room in case you don't kind of stamp it, you know, exactly in the middle, or you need a little bit of extra cardstock to hang on to as you're maneuvering it to punch. But yeah, not much goes to waste. So okay, and then we'll do this last lot. Line it up in the punch. This is the most fiddly part of it all. It's not difficult, but it's just trying to get them lined up. There we go. Okay, and again we've got that little strip there we can use for a sentiment. So okay, so there's all of our flowers. All right, so you can see the different colors there in the flowers from dark to light. Okay, so they're all ready to go. All right, so we'll pop those over to the side here and we'll do our leaves. So for the leaves, we're going to be stamping tone on tone. So doing Mossy Meadow on Mossy Meadow. Okay, and for the leaves, what I have done is I created a template from the punch by simply cutting a piece of basic white cardstock, sticking it in the punch and punching. So that gives me a template now, so that if you are stamping, because we've got the different stamps here, there's the 3 different leaves there and the 2 different flowers, stems, and then there's an extra leaf there as well. I'm not actually sure if that leaf fits in this other punch. I haven't tried that. No, it's larger. But yeah, so you've got those, and you've got, this is the splatter that I used as well on the card, and I used the hello sentiment from this one as well. But yeah, because these are different stamps, or separate stamps, I should say, what I did is I took the stamps, I had them loose. I'll show you. I took each of them, I laid them down onto, so I put my template onto another piece of cardstock so that it was, you know, not on a sticky surface. And I laid my stamp into the punch so it fit into the punch. Then I got my other stamp and I laid that into the cutout from the other one. And then I took my block to both of them, having them lined up in the punch template, and now we've got them together on the one thing. So we can punch them out at the same time, which will be much quicker because it's not how I had it originally. It was a bit of an afterthought and I had done them all individually. So, all right. Now let's see, we are punching this way. So always check which way you're going to be punching so that you can make sure that you get maximum amount of stamped images out of your cardstock. All right, so we're going to stamp one set there and one set there. And we won't fit another set on the other side, so I have another piece here. One set there, one set there, and I think I needed an extra couple of the little floral ones. So if I flip that around the other side, Let's see if I flipped them around there. Yes, I can stamp these. I'll just put a little bit of scrap paper underneath because I might stamp off the edge there. So we'll just ink up the one stamp, and I'll stamp a couple of extra of the floral one. So that we can punch out a couple of extra ones of those too. Okay, we can do the same on the other piece, but I probably won't need that many. Actually, how many do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, there you go. I've got enough anyway. Okay, so we will clean that one off. Give it a little stamp off and then clean it on our chamois. Did I clean the, I can't remember if I cleaned that one. Okay. All right, and now we're going to take our punch and we'll turn it up this way first, and we're going to punch the 2 at a time. So we're going to line these up together. There we go. So we've got 1, 2. And yeah, so making those little templates of your punches, of your builder punches, is a really great idea, especially if you want to do multiples at a time. It makes it heaps easier and quicker. There we go. And then we'll just get these little ones. And also to knowing which way to stamp on your cardstock with your stamp, because if I had stamped that stamp the other way around, this one around the other way, because the punch is facing that way, or the flowers are at this end, if I had have done them the other way around, I would have had to cut the cardstock and flip the cardstock around, because it wouldn't have, the design would not have fit into the punch. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. But I love these. I think Rachel did a great job helping to design these ones. There we go. All right, and now these ones. Just get them lined up. So this is Mossy Meadow cardstock. I think I did mention that. So we stamped Mossy Meadow ink onto the Mossy Meadow cardstock. And it just gives you, like, you could use the punch without the stamp, but having the stamped image just gives you that added detail on your project, rather than just having, I'll show you the difference. I'll do one, let's see if I can get one up here in the middle. And I've got an extra set there in the middle. Okay. All right. So these are the ones that are just plain. And then these are the ones that are stamped. And you'll see the difference there. You see the difference there? I'll hold that up closer to the camera. See the difference? It just gives you that added detail and depth to, to your project pieces. A little bit hard to see there. I've got the light there. Can you see that better? There. Yeah, so I think that adds a really great detail. All right, so these 2 that aren't stamped, I'll keep those for another project, because, you know, we never want anything to go to waste. Now, where's my little packet that I had all of those other bits in? There we go. I'll pop them in there with that. Okay. All right. So that's all our leaves and flowers created. So we'll pop those over there. Okay. Now, next, we are going to grab our all of our cardstock here. Here we go. Okay. And we will create the little Polaroids. So these are little mini Polaroids. They are Let me get my instruction sheet here. 5.8 by 7.8 centimeters. So I've got 3 of them. Okay, and we're going to take the dies, so the stylish shape dies, and I'm going to use the 3rd largest. It was actually the 3rd largest. It's also the 3rd smallest. It's the middle one, to die cut the center out of those. So what we want to do is line that up at the top so that you've got an even border at the top and on both sides. And I'll just grab a little bit of washi. Oh, there it is. There's a bit of washi I was using last night. And I want to just line that up and try and get that nice and straight, as straight as I can. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of washi at the top. I don't want to put the washi at the bottom because I don't want the washi to leave any marks here. Okay, and then I'm going to, oh, that moved. Let's do that again. Hang on a sec. Get that lined up. There, I might grab an extra piece of washi actually. I'll have to reach. Ooh, need some more. Grab my little Stampin' Up washi. How cute is that? So sad that that one retired. That was from a while ago. Whenever I use a new piece of washi, I dab it off on my clothes just to take off a little bit of that excess sticky, because we don't want that to, can actually stick it to the inside, to be honest, because we're not using that inside piece. I mean, you might want to use it for another project. There we go. All right, I'll grab my mini. I have my large Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine out on my desk, the desk that's beside me, but I thought, you know what, rather than lift that big thing, I'll just get my mini out and we'll use that today. All right, so we're going to use our base plate number 1, and we've got our 2 clear plates and our number 2 clear plates, one on the bottom. We'll pop our die on there. Now, because this is a die with a straight edge, we're going to put it at a slight angle. That'll help the rollers to feed it through so that we don't get that big speed bump and it doesn't get caught on the rollers. Any die that has a straight edge, always put it in at a little bit of an angle. There we go. Now we've got to release that, there we go, the washi tape. There we go. So you can use that, that square for another project. So I've got now 4 of them. I'll have 6 by the time we're finished. And there's the little Polaroid cutout. Okay, so we'll pop that to the side. We'll do the next one. Line it up. Okay, even border around the top and the left and the right side. Nice and straight. Washi tape that on. Remember to stagger your plates a little bit when you put them through your mini as well. It'll help your rollers to grab the plates. So this one is stacked back a little bit, and then the one that's going on top is even with the bottom plate. Okay. Is anyone crafting along with me today? Let me know in the comments if you're crafting along. There we go. There's our second little Polaroid cutout. Oh, that one tore. Okay. Well, we won't keep that one. All right, last one. Same thing. Line it up. Get it nice and straight. Okay, have you all got your cuppers today? What are you drinking? Let me know in the comments. Are you a tea drinker? Are you a coffee drinker? Here we go. There and there. All right. And through we go again. Okay, last one. Through we go. Make sure when you do that, if you're putting your cardstock in at an angle, that it doesn't extend outside of the, I was just on the edge there. Just be sure it doesn't extend outside of the plates, because it will catch on the side of the machine and it will damage your paper there, or your cardstock. So I just got away with that one because that was nearly a little bit too close to the edge. There we go. So there's our third little Polaroid. Okay, so that's it for our die cutting. So we can pop our mini machine away. So we'll just fold the sides up. Look how nice and compact that little mini machine is. So the mini is available in the white and currently in the boho blue as well in my online store, and it's really, really handy. It's a great size for your desktop. All right, pop those dies back away. Okay, so we've got our three little Polaroids. Now, they need something behind them. So we've got our yellow pieces of cardstock here, and we're going to pop one of those behind each one. So just take a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue. I'm going to run it around, I'm actually going to run it around the edge. So these little yellow pieces, they are just a bit smaller than the white piece, okay? Just so that you can't see that at the edges. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to run the glue around the very edge of the yellow piece. Again, all of the measurements for this card are on my blog, so you'll be able to get those measurements from there. So the blog hop today that this project is part of, there are lots of different projects on the blog hop. You can get to the blog hop from my blog. So if you go to my blog, mandyspapercraftcreations.blogspot.com, and then from there you can hop around to the other blogs. Oh, that one I didn't get it right to the edge. And yeah, and you can get lots of creative inspiration there. And everybody had a different interpretation of the picture, which is really fun. So it gives you so many great ideas, because we can get so many great creative ideas from pictures, images, photos, things that are in our environment. Yeah, so just take your creative inspiration from the things that are around you. Sometimes we just need to open our eyes and, you know, to what's around us, to take creative inspiration from those things. Now I have got an adhesive eraser because I just put a little bit of glue a bit too close. There we go. All right, so we'll do, in fact, you know what I'm going to do with this one? I'm going to put it on the edge of the white this time, just so I make sure that I don't get it oozing everywhere. Just try and not put it too heavily. You could use your fine tip glue pen for this as well. And we want to put a bit of glue on here as well, because we want that to hold our yellow piece. There we go, that's better. That's a better way. I can't remember which way I did it last night now. It was, as I said, it was early hours of the morning. And I was watching more Gilmore Girls. Oh, there, that was a bit cleaner that time. I was watching more Gilmore Girls at the time. So, you know, watching and creating at the same time. Might have to move that one off to the side. Yes, definitely a better way to go is to put the glue on here. Now you can make these Polaroids in any size you like, because I just made up the measurements. Just trim the cardstock with my paper trimmer, and yeah, and you can make them whatever size you want, because it's just basically cutting a rectangle and then just cutting the piece that you're going to put as the background in a slightly smaller piece. There we go. See, my yellow piece probably could have been a little bit larger than what it is, but I wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to stick out the sides. There we go. All right, so that one's nice and clean. That one's nice and clean. This one was nice and clean. This one was a little bit sticky. Now we are going to put our flowers on there, but I'm just going to make sure that I get rid of any of that excess adhesive, just so that it doesn't stick to anything that it's not supposed to. There we go. These adhesive erasers, you can just buy them online. Stampin' Up doesn't sell them anymore, but you can find them. Yeah, you can find them in lots of places. Lots of craft stockists have them. When I buy them, I don't buy them very often. I've only ever had like a couple of them, but when I do buy them, I usually get a couple at a time, so I've got one in my stash. There we go. All right, so there's our cute little, aren't they adorable? Our cute little bright yellow Polaroids in our Daffodil Delight. Okay, so we've got those ready to go. Now we're going to create our card base. Okay, so the easiest thing to do is, the first step is to take our layer. So this is just a base of basic white, so it's half of a piece of A4 cardstock. So just cut at 21 centimeters by 14.85, scored and folded at 10.5. And this is a basic layer, which again, the measurements will be on my blog. We're just going to have a 2mm border all the way around. And this is crushed curry cardstock. So we're going to pop this on. Now currently, because I'm filming this today, currently if you went to my blog, my video would not be on there, but I am going to go in and add it. There we go. So that there will be a link there to the blog as well. Now this piece here, this is going to be the next layer. It's going to be aligned to the top, but what we're going to do is we're going to tear off the top left-hand corner, and we're going to also tear along the bottom. So I'm going to do the tearing along the bottom first, and I want the torn edge showing. So to get the torn edge showing, I'm tearing towards myself on that lower edge, so that's going to be the bottom. Okay, and you only want to tear off about 1/2 centimeter. Okay, so this piece I think was what was this one? Crumb cake, 14.45 centimeters by 9.5. Okay, so that's that bit. And then we're going to tear across this corner again. So we're going to tear down, we're going to start at about 3 centimeters down and tear it across to roughly about 4.5 centimeters, or thereabouts. It doesn't have to be exact because it's a torn piece, so you can just kind of go across like that. Okay, all right, now we want a white edge, so we don't want to tear that yet. Now this cardstock is one color all the way through. The way that it's dyed, it's the one color all the way through, so we don't get that white edge. So we're going to create that white edge, but before we do that, oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to ink this piece. So originally on my first one, it won't matter. Originally on my first one, what I did is I took some crushed curry ink and I used my blending brush to just blend the edges. Okay, but I forgot to do it on this one, but it doesn't matter. So I do have my blending brush and my crushed curry ink. So you would just blend on that corner, just around the edges, and then just on the edge there as well. Okay, but I forgot this time, but it won't matter. But we are going to do that on this piece. So let me grab my scrap paper out again. We're going to take some some crumb cake this time, not crushed curry, crumb cake. But I'm only going to brush the ink on the torn edges, okay? So not all the way around, but just on the torn edge. And I'm using one of the small blending brushes this time. I'm just going to turn it this way to make it easier for me. I'm just going to go along that torn edge, and that just makes that torn edge just stand out a little bit more. Okay, so we're just doing tone on tone. So just crumb cake ink on crumb cake cardstock. Okay, and we'll do that other torn edge there as well on the diagonal. Now, if you wanted to, you could go around all the edges, but I didn't bother with this one because the yellow is really what is going to make the card pop. But I just wanted to highlight just those, you know, those torn bits there. Okay, so that's done. Now again, you could leave that step out if you wanted to, but you can probably see there on camera that it does just highlight that torn edge a little bit. All right, but now we're going to create a white torn edge as well. I've got a strip here of basic white cardstock. This one measures 14.45 centimeters by 2.5 centimeters, and I'm just going to tear one side of that. There we go. And then that's going to sit underneath there. So you kind of have a look to see how that's going to sit, and make sure, because depending on how you tear this first piece as to how that's going to look underneath it. Because you'll notice with this one, I went up a little bit here with that torn piece. So yeah, so you're just going to layer those together. And before we do anything else, I'm just going to lay them on here just to see how they look, to see if I'm going to need to do any additional tearing. No, I think that will be good. Could maybe just do a little bit more just up here on the corner if you wanted to, but I think I'm just going to leave it as it is. Okay, and now for this piece here, we want a white edge along there as well. So we're just going to tear this little piece. This one is 2.5 centimeters wide by 7 centimeters long. And we're just going to tear the edge of this one. There we go. And then that's going to sit under here. And then we're going to trim off the excess cardstock there. Okay. It's just going to kind of sit like that, and then we're going to trim it. Okay, so you just want to make sure that your white cardstock here on the corner extends out the edges, so that then we can trim that off. Okay. All right, so we'll do that. We'll add those pieces. I'm going to do the bottom piece first. So I'm going to add some liquid glue to the white piece. Come on, glue. There we go. Okay, so we're just going to line that up. We don't want too much of the white showing. Okay, just want a little bit of that torn edge. Make sure it doesn't extend out past the edge. So I love that with the liquid glue we can just maneuver that we go. It gives it that wiggle time, so we can just slide that around. There we go. Good. And then we'll put some glue on this piece here as well. And we're going to line that up. Try and get it down. Try and get it down to there. Like that. There we go. There we go. And then we can trim that bit there. Just get my snips. Make sure there's no glue there. And we're just going to trim off that excess there like that. Okay. Okay. So now we've got that piece, which we're not adhering yet because we're still going to do a little bit of work with this one. Okay, but that's how that's going to look like that. Okay, but we want to do some embossing on there, and we've got to add our ribbon as well before we adhere that. Okay. Oops, there we go. Move that, put our glue over there out of the way. Alrighty. So we'll pop our card base over to the side. We're going to do some stamping and heat embossing on this piece now. So we'll get our embossing powder. We've got our white embossing powder. Now originally I was just going to stamp the Whisper White ink on here, but then I thought I really want it to pop a bit more. So I decided to bring in the white embossing powder. Now, if you don't have the white ink, with the white embossing powder, you can use a Versamark ink, which is a clear ink. Yeah, so you can do it that way as well. I'll just grab this scrap paper first, just do the stamping, and then we'll use this piece for the embossing. And we're going to use the speckle stamp from the Layering Leaves. So it's this one here. Okay. Good thing about using the white is that you can see better where it is going. I'm actually turn that around that way. So I'm going to stamp it up here and down here a little bit. There we go. And I decided that I'm going to change up where I'm going to have my splatter on this side. I wasn't 100% happy with where I had it on the first project. So I'm just going to move it a little bit. I'll have a little bit down here too. There we go. Okay, so now while that ink is wet, we'll add our white embossing powder. Now the Craft Whisper White ink pad is a pigment ink, so it stays wet for a lot longer than the water-based inks in our classic Stampin' pads, so you have got more time to work with it for embossing, which is great. You get that, you've got more time to get that embossing powder on before it's going to dry out. Oh, I meant to tip that onto this one. That doesn't matter. It's all right, I'll use this one. All right, so we'll get our, where's my little paintbrush, and I'll give that a tap, tap, tap on the back. All right, and do we need to brush off any excess? I don't think so. I didn't actually use, oh yes, down the bottom here. I didn't actually use my embossing buddy today, which I probably should have, but I forgot. But that's okay. That'll be all right. Okay, so we'll put this back into, so tip off the excess, return the excess back to your container, and cap that every time before you turn on your heat tool, because otherwise you can end up with accidentally, I'll just ink that off, you can accidentally melt the pot of embossing powder. You don't want to leave any of that embossing powder out and exposed, because you don't want to accidentally melt that. So I always tell my ladies in my classes to make sure that they put away their embossing powder first before they turn on their heat tool, just in case. So I've seen it happen. So, all right. We've also got our, ceramic tipped tweezers. These are a reverse grip tweezer. So you squeeze them to open, and then when you release, they clamp shut. And they, and the paintbrush and the embossing buddy and the embossing tray, which I didn't use today, are actually from the Embossing Editions toolkit, and they're very handy to have. So I'm just going to use my heat tool, just heating that up for a moment, and then we're going to heat that embossing powder until it becomes glossy and raised. And then as soon as you see that start to turn, start to change, then you're going to move your embossing tool so that you don't overheat it. If you overheat it, it will become flat and dull, and you won't have that lovely glossy effect. So you're using heat setting number 2 on your heat tool. Okay, now if you find that your cardstock curls up a little bit, mine's curled a tad, but not too much, you can put it onto heat setting number 1. Hey Glenda, how you going? No worries at all. Turn your cardstock over the other way and then heat from the other side, and it'll uncurl your cardstock. Just be cautious though if you have got embossing powder on the opposite side, because if you continue to heat that, again, it'll become glossy, dull, and lose its glossiness. All right, so once you see that that is shiny and raised, that is done. So that's nice and quick. And now we're going to wrap our ribbon. So I've got the gold trim, it's gold ribbon, and it's from the gold and silver trim combo pack. This has got 2 sides. So one side has got the gold edges on both sides, and it's sort of like vanilla in the middle. The other side is solid gold. So I'm using the solid gold side today. And I'm just going to cut a piece that is just about 1 centimetre longer on each side than the length of your cardstock, just so you've got enough to wrap around. And I'll grab some tear and tape, because I'm going to adhere it with tear and tape on the back. So just grab a strip of tear and tape. We're going to just pop that down, about there. No actual measurement for this part, just where it looks good, about there. And then we'll grab another bit of tear and tape for the other side. Take it along to roughly level with the other side. Wrap it around. Don't pull it too tight, because if you pull it too tight, it'll actually bow your cardstock. There we go. And we want to tape it. I want to tape it just in a bit from the edge, because I want to leave some space there where I can add some adhesive. There we go. All right. I'm just measuring on my other one. Yeah, I got that about at the right. I used my eye, but I was just measuring on my other card to see if I got it at about the same height, and I did pretty much just by eye, so that was good. As I said, there's no set distance for that one. All right, so we're ready to adhere this now. So we're going to adhere this with some multi-purpose liquid glue. And I'm going to put some glue just right along the edges there, all the way around over your ribbon, along your white edge. And then we're going to put a whole heap here in the middle. Okay, and now what we're going to do when we line this up, we're going to align that to the top of the crushed curry, or the yellow piece. The top and the right hand side, right hand edge, and then make sure that your left hand edge is lining up also. There we go, and we're going to press that down firmly. slide that up a little bit more. Can I slide it up, or did I press it down too tightly too quickly? That's okay. All right, there we go. So give that a nice firm press where that ribbon is as well on the edges. There we go. Okay, so that is that. Now we want to add about 10 centimeters of ribbon. So let's grab, well, it is about 10 centimeters, but I'm just going to do it straight from the spool. And we're going to tie a little knot. So as I tie this knot, I'm going to twist it so that I've got that solid gold showing. I just want to make a little faux bow over here at the side. There we go. I'm not going to pull it too tight yet because I might need to move it. Might need to slide it along. There we go. So we'll just trim that like that and like that. There we go. And then we can slide that along when we get our little Polaroids on there. All right, so now we're ready to add our Polaroids. So we need to position these. We're going to have two that are adhered down flat, and then the one that's on the top is going to be popped up onto some dimensionals. We want to kind of have these, so I might need to move this out of the way for the moment while I position these. I'm going to kind of position them in the middle. Oh, the center one, actually we need to stamp on that before we adhere it. Lucky I just remembered that. So we need to do some stamping on that one. So I'll just leave those there positioned for the moment, and we'll bring in our Stampin' Pierce mat. And I'm using the Hello, which is from the Layering Leaves. So it's this one here. You could use any of these. You could use Thanks So Much, Thinking of You. They would all fit as well. Actually, let's do a thinking, what will I do? Could do a Thinking of You on this one, because I've already got a Hello. Although I like Hello because it's, no, I'll stick with Hello because it's very generic. Like you can use it for any occasion really. All right, and we're going to stamp that in. We're going to stamp that. Oh, is the gold ribbon in the current catalogue? The gold ribbon is, I'm just trying to think, was that in, I think it's in the, oh, now you've got me, Rose. I think, I have a feeling it's in the online exclusives, actually. Let's have a quick look. Hang on, I'll just jump over here and have a quick little looky. Let's see. Shop products. Oh, there you go. Amber has just jumped on and said it is from the online exclusives. Yes, I thought it was. I just had to think for a moment where I had grabbed it from. Now let's see. Yes, it is in the online exclusives and it is still current, Rose. Yep, it's still available. It's really beautiful. It's $15.75 and you get the spool of silver and the spool of gold. So yeah, so it's really lovely. And I'm just going to scroll back up because I think I missed a few other comments here. Rose said coffee or tea, doesn't matter. You like both, Rose. Oh, there you go. Good. Oh, Megan's here. Hey, Megan, how are you? You just got home. Fantastic. What wonderful creation am I doing today? I am creating this card here, which is part of a design team blog hop, which has gone live today. And we had a photo inspiration today. Oh, sorry, a picture inspiration. So this was the picture inspiration, and this was the card that I designed from that picture. So lots of different projects have been designed today in the blog hop. So be sure to check that out after my live. Did I catch up with everything else? Yes, I think I said hello to you, Glenda, when you jumped on. Yes, I think we're all good. All right, so let's do our hello. Stamp our hello. I nearly forgot about that. I could have, if I had have forgotten, it would have been okay. I could have just stamped it on a label and then added it on later. But oh, I don't think I've got quite enough ink. Oh, thanks, Megan. Megan said, wow, it's amazing. Thank you. It was fun to create. And as I was saying before, like the yellows aren't really colors that I create with a lot. So it was a little bit of a challenge for me, but it was a good challenge and I enjoyed it. There we go. So there's our hello. And I'll just give this one a little clean. Just stamp that off and give it a clean. Always a good idea to clean your stamps straight away. That's what I always tell everybody. Just keep them in good condition that way. All right, so we'll pop that aside to let that dry a little bit. Back to aligning these. So we want them to be overlapping sort of in the middle. And then this one is going to go over the top. So we need to make sure we're leaving enough space. Yep, that looks about right. Okay, so the bottom two are just adhered with the glue. That's all right, I can fix that little ribbon up in a minute. I'll just leave that one sit there. And we're just going to apply some glue to this one. And we'll slide that back under. See if I can get it back in the same orientation. Never works. It's never exactly the same. I found that last night. I was putting my my card together last night and I'm like, no, that's not the position that I originally had them in. But then it was too late because I'd already stuck them. But that's okay. All right, so there's that one. And then we'll do this one. Okay. Maybe move that one over a little bit. Alrighty, there we go. Adhere that down. And this next one, there we go. All right, and then this one is going to be adhered with Stampin' Dimensionals. So we'll grab out our dimensionals and my trusty Take Your Pick tool. Pop some dimensionals down on this one. It's only a small piece, so I'm not using as many on this one as what I would normally on a larger piece. There we go, and then this one is going to go in the center there, and I'm going to have it down a little bit so that the tops of each of those other frames is showing. And trying to line that up straight to the bottom edge. There we go. And if they don't line up completely, like exactly, it doesn't matter because we're going to be adding all of these flowers on top and all of this detail, so it doesn't really matter too much. All right, and now the fun begins. So what I like to do is sort out my flowers so that I can see the colors because we've got some lights and some darks. So we'll just sort them into their colors so that I make sure that I pick up the right one. There we go. And the leaves don't matter because the leaves are all the same. Well, we've got large and small. All right. We can fiddle with this ribbon in a minute. I'm still not really happy with how that's sitting, but I'll fiddle with that later. Okay, so I'm going to start with the middle panel first, and I'm going to start with the darkest flower and one of the leaves. Now, what I found with these leaves, the stems are quite long, so on most of them I trimmed that stem off just to make it easier to adhere behind the flower and so that the stem wasn't sticking out the bottom. So we'll put some glue on, just on the base here. I shouldn't do that over my project. I've done that before and dropped glue on my project. It wasn't good. All right, and then we'll pop that behind the flower so it's sitting up about, oh actually I think on this one I had this extra piece chopped off too. Oh, I just did that without, that's not my tape scissors. It's made my good scissors sticky. That's all right, I'll have to give them a clean. All right, I'll just add a bit more glue. I'll do that again. All right, so glue on the leaves and then attach the leaves to the back of the flower so that they're sitting out a little bit from there. Then what I did is I put together all of the flowers and the leaves first, and then I positioned them all on my card so that I knew where I wanted them positioned. But because I've got one that I prepared earlier that I can now copy, for this one I can just do each one as we go, if that makes sense. There we go. So we'll just adhere that one down. Okay, next one we had one of the lighter ones. We'll go with this one. Yep. And we'll do the same. We'll trim that extra little bit off. Add a bit of glue. So has anybody else created with the Petal Park stamp set? Let me know if you have in the comments. It's really, really pretty. I designed a project not long ago using this one, and I'd had it for a little while, but the stamp set and the punch had actually carried over from a previous catalogue. So they're not bundled anymore. Now I'm going to pop a dimensional on the back of this one. They're not bundled anymore, but yeah, they were really beautiful. Very fun to create with. All right, so we're going to pop that one over there. Again, it doesn't really matter how you layer these, because they're kind of just, there's so many flowers and so much going on this project. You really can, you know, do them however you like. Now I'm using one of the smaller flowers this time, and again I'm going to cut the stem off that. Just add a little bit of glue, attach that between two of those petals. So this is with the 4 petal flowers, I like to attach the leaves, or well, this isn't really a leaf, it's like an extra little flowery bit, sort of between where those 2 petals peak down there. Peak down? Is that the, you know, in the peak. In the peak. All right, this one's going up on a dimensional as well. And I'm just going to tuck this one in under here. And it's going to overlap both of those 2, like that. Okay. Now, this one over here is going to be this one. We're going to do the same with the leaves. So we'll trim that one. Oh, trim that one too, that extra one. Add some glue. This is the fun part, is putting it all together, putting all the layers together and seeing how it turns out. Now we want this one going over this way, in this direction, and this one's going to go up on dimensionals as well. Well, just a dimensional. Don't need as many dimensionals on these ones because they're a pretty good size. So we're going to pop this one over here. Oh, actually, I'm adding an extra layer. I'm adding one of the little flower petals behind this one too. Before I stick that. Nearly stuck it down without its extra little bits. Oops. Hang on, I'll try and get that in the right spot there, like that. That's how I want it. Now I'm getting in a sticky situation. There we go. Okay. And then that's going up here in the top corner. Now you have to make sure when you're adding these that the leaves don't extend out the side of the card, because then it won't fit into your envelope. So I'm just going to grab a baby wipe to wipe my fingers. Getting a little bit sticky. There we go. All right. And then we want a dark yellow flower, which is just going to be adhered with glue. So we've got one of the darker yellow ones, and it's going to go on the side of the frame down here, like that. And then we want this one, which we coloured with the Stampin' blends, and one of our little flowery, I don't know what you call these. They're like little flower buds. Greenery. Let's just call it greenery. The little greenery. Bit more glue. And we're going to have that coming this way. There, like that. And then this one's going to go on a dimensional. Again, the large dimensionals fit on the under the small flower, which is great. So we don't have to keep changing between mini dimensionals and standard dimensionals. And we're going to overlap those ones there like that. Okay, and then this big one is going to have this last large leaf. And this time I'm just cutting off the stem. I'm going to leave that one there because it's going to be adhered over on the left-hand side. Okay, so we can have more of that one. And you can test on your card too, like if it looks like it's going to be too tall, then you can, you know, shimmy it down a little bit, because if you've got the multi-purpose liquid glue, you know, you can move it, which is the beauty of using that. There we go. And if you need to chop off that extra leaf, you can. Okay, and then we're going to use one of these ones. And I'll trim that again, just to be sure. And add some glue. Now this time I'm going to slip that down. So because I only put glue at the base of that stem, I've still got movement in here. So I can pull that leaf back a little bit and I can slip this one in under there, so that it's kind of sitting in front of this leaf, like that. Okay, and then that one's going to go on a dimensional. Oops, just scratched myself with my take your pick tool. Be careful, they're sharp. All right, and then this one's going to go over here with the leaves going to the left side, being careful that they're not going to extend out the edge of the card. Okay, and then we're going to take the deeply coloured 4-petal flower and one of these ones here, trim that up and add our glue. So tell me, do any of you have a favourite flower? What's your favourite flower? Let me know in the comments if you have a favourite flower. There we go, and this one's going to be adhered flat. And we're going to have the greenery for this one extending out the side, and this one's going to just be tucked in under there like that. I'm going to have the greenery coming out from the side there. Just rotate that a little bit. Make sure that's not going to go outside of the edge of the card. There we go. Pansies. Glenda likes pansies. Oh, Fran's here from France. Hi, Fran. Lovely to have you with us. Thank you for joining us. Oh, Fran says she loves Marguerite. I've never heard of that. We'll have to look that one up. Oh, Rose said she can't choose a favorite flower. There's too many that she loves. Oh, well, that's lovely. There are lots of beautiful flowers out there, aren't there? I think my favorite would have to be carnations. I think I love the fragrance of carnations. All right, so I'm still not happy with how this ribbon is sitting. I really wanted it to sit up this way, but it's being a little bit pedantic and not sitting. Oh, there we go. There we go. I might have it. Because I twisted the ribbon as I tied it because I wanted that gold edge to show. There we go. That's better. I'll just trim that up a little bit and I'm going to move it right across to, I'll move the knot right across to the little Polaroid there. There we go. And I'll just trim that up just a tad. Now the ribbon is hanging off the edge of the card and that's okay because the ribbon is soft. So when it goes into the envelope, that will actually move with the card. So that's okay if the ribbon is a little bit longer. So now we've got all of our flowers added and we've got these ones as spare. So we can use those on another project. So we'll save those. And now we add our beautiful bling. So let me just cap my glue. And we'll bring in our beautiful brushed brass butterflies. Oh, hey, Robin. I don't think I saw you jump on. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Robin loves daffodils. Oh, there you go. So you'll probably love this one, Robin, because it's yellow. I know they're not daffodils, but it's yellow and bright and sunny. Vicky loves roses. Oh, there you go. And Fran says beautiful card. Thank you, Fran. All right, so these are the brushed brass butterflies, if I can get them out of the packet. That's a brand new packet, and this is the one that I'm just finishing off. So I'm probably going to need to open up this one because I haven't got very many little butterflies left. All right, so we are going to pop a small butterfly down here near our hello, flying off at an angle up to the right hand corner. And then with our large ones, we'll pop one down here, fill up some of this white space. These are great because they are adhesive backed, so it makes them so easy to place them. I might actually move that one and pop that up there, that little gap up there. And we've got this one, we're going to pop that one there like that. And I just need one more small one, and I've run out of small ones on this sheet, so I'll have to open up this packet and take one of the small ones. Oh, look, there you go. Look, this little one wants to join us. Popped off the plastic there. All right, so we'll add this little one here like so. There we go. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 butterflies, an odd number. That is perfect. That's what we need. Always good to have an odd number of embellishments on your projects because it's more aesthetically pleasing to the eye in the creative world, apparently. So that's what I was taught. So, oh, you know what else we forgot? Well, I forgot. We didn't forget our Wink of Stella. So we'll add a little bit of Wink of Stella to the centers of each of those flowers, just to give them a little bit of a sparkle. And you're probably not even going to see the sparkle on camera, but the recipient, when they get the card, when they receive the card, they will see the sparkle and they will just think that that is beautiful and shimmery and just adds a little bit of something to the project. So there we go. There is our project for today. There's the one I created yesterday. Yeah, I like the placement of the splatter I did today a little bit better than the one I did yesterday. I think it's a bit more, a little bit more well balanced. So there you go. What do you think? Do you like it? Do you think that you might try that? There are a lot of steps in there and a few different techniques, but I think it's really worth the time because it just makes such a beautiful card. And yeah, I think it's worth the time to do that. So yeah. Oh, thank you everybody so much. Vicky says lovely card, Mandy. Thank you for sharing. Robin says gorgeous card. Love the hello. It really suits it. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, and it's great because you can use it for any occasion, which is fantastic. Beautiful card, says Rose. Megan says, wow, Mandy, that is so stunning. You're very talented. Oh, thank you so much, Megan. You're so sweet. Thank you. All right, well, I'm going to tip the camera back up face to face so I can say goodbye to you and just remind you of a couple of things before we go. So bear with me. Here we go. All right, don't go anywhere. I'm coming back. I just covered the camera up so I don't make you all dizzy because there's quite a few transitions that I need to make. There we go. Whoops, up a bit high, aren't we? There we go. Great. And lights, camera, action, and we are back. So there we go. So there's the one we made today. Isn't that cute? There's an up close. Can you see the shimmer on the, look at all that blingy bling bling with the butterflies and the shimmer on the flowers. So fun. And the ribbon too. The ribbon is shimmery and shiny as well. So lots of fun. So remember that today is the last day to register for my paper share. I put the link in the comments, but I will also add the link to the description of the video as well, so that you can jump on that. In the current share that I've got running, there's only one spot left. However, if I've got enough, then I can open a second one. But at the moment, there's only one left. So if you'd like to get in on that, then yeah, definitely jump in on that today. That's for the papers for the new mini catalogue. This one here, and this one, the mini catalogue is launching on Wednesday, the 6th of September 2023. So there you go. So lots of beautiful products, and after Wednesday we'll be able to open the inside of the catalogue and show you all of those products on camera. Oh, sorry, those images on the inside of the catalogue on camera, which we can do once the catalogue goes live. So we've got that happening. The paper share, we've got the new tutorial as well. Remember that I have that, the September tutorial. My customers get that for free with orders over $75. But if you are a demonstrator or you have your own if you're a customer but you have your own demonstrator, you can purchase this from me as well for $28. There are 55 tutorials for 55 different projects, one of which is mine, which is up the top here, this one up here. So yeah, they are all current products that are available. So there we go. So if you have any questions, please let me know. This project is up on my blog already. I will go and add the video to there as well. So there's a video link back to this video if you want to have another look to see how to put this together. But all of the supply list, all the measurements for this card, they're all already over there on the blog, and it is part of a blog hop. So once you've been to my blog at mandyspapercraftcreations.blogspot.com, there it is there, You can then hop around to all the other participants in the blog hop to get lots and lots of creative inspiration from that beautiful photo inspiration or picture inspiration challenge that we had. So super fun. All right. Oh, I dropped out for a moment for you, Megan. What was that I was offering? Oh, a paper share for the mini catalog. So it is, this is only some of the papers that you see in this image, but there's a specialty paper share and a standard paper share. You can choose either, or you can choose all of them. But yes, there is a link in the comments, and I'll pop the link in the description of the video as well. If you want to check that out to see what is included in that paper share from the new mini catalog. So yes, yes, and today is the last day to register for the paper share. Yeah, that's correct. Oh, thank you, Julie. Oh, you're going to give it a try? Fantastic. That's awesome. I would love to see it if you do. So if ever you case any of my projects, I love to see your casing of my projects. So please send me photos. If you do, you can either email me or contact me via Messenger. But I love to see people's projects when they have cased my cards, just to see your interpretation. And yeah, and it's lovely to know that you found creative inspiration in what I share. That's why I share it, because I want to share my love of creativity with everybody. And I hope that sparks some creativity in you as well, because I love seeing people get creative, and I think it's just, you know, so wonderful having that creative outlet. Now also too, one thing I didn't mention is, of course, you are always welcome to join my team. So if you would like more information about joining my amazing Papercraft Gems team, then please let me know. It's only $169 for the starter kit, but you get to choose your choice of $235 worth of product to put into your starter kit. And you can choose any of those brand new products as well from the mini catalog to put into your starter kit right now. Because even though this catalog doesn't go live until the 6th, as demonstrators, we can order from this right now. So if you want to get them right now, you can join my team and you can pop the products from this catalog into your starter kit straight away. So let me know if you'd like more information about that. You don't need to sell product, or you're not locked in. You can leave at any time. I can give you more information and answer all of your questions if you just get in contact with me. But we'd love to have you come and join us. All right, so I will let you go. Thank you all so much. I will go now and pop the video over on my blog. I'll put all of my links in the description of this video right now before I go and do the blog thing. So then that way you've got all of those links there. And yeah, feel free to jump over to my blog and grab all the measurements and everything over there. All right, well, have a great week, everybody. Oh, fantastic, Robin. Robin says, lovely layout, going to try that with different stamps, etc. Oh, fantastic. I look forward to seeing it, Robin. Have a great week, everybody. I hope you all get some creativity in there somewhere during your week. And I look forward to seeing you all again next Monday at 4 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. See you all then. And as I always say, happy crafting. Bye, everyone.